Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The people of the Most High, the Biafran people, the sons and daughters of the Most High God, I sent my greetings from here to every one of us. And I felt like getting some issues shared. We all know that by the special grace of Chukwuokike Abiyama, our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done greatly by making us to think like humans, making us to be critical to issues. Prayer before the emergence of IPOB and the leadership of our leader, Don Hamadike, the great gift to us. We are not critical in issues. We are just like mentally docile elements. And we are just being kicked around. We are just being fooled around. And all we know was buying and selling. And nothing serious. And Biafra land was like a rich land hosting bunch of fools. It was just like the Fertile Crescent that is being occupied by mentally backward and docile human elements or species. But we bless the Most High God that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came and changed in us that part of us that made us less human. He rejuvenated in us that part that our parents or our progenitors, our ancestors had that made them to be well respected, which light those are untapped in us. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came and made sure that part is reawakened. And today we are rational beings. Most of us are critical thinkers. We no longer wait to be interpreted of social developments. We watch them, we tell you this is where it's going to be, and no doubt about it, it gets to that. Courtesy of the great teachings, the great leadership of Ohamadike, who did this because in course of him liberating us mentally, he faced a vicious circle attack. He was attacked, he was in prison, he was incarcerated, and today he was forced out of his homeland because he chose the path of sensitizing and reawaken the consciousness of his people who never knew what was happening around them. So we all own our leader appreciation. We all owe Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a great thanks for all he has been doing for us, for his doggedness, for his restlessness, for all, things he has been doing that cannot be overemphasized that he has been doing for us. And I want to, if we read the topic of today's discussion, I want to talk about things that are happening presently because, like we all know, IPOB is everywhere. IPOB is in the realm of men and also in the realm of spirit. We are all over the places. If you go to the spirit world, IPOB have representatives. If you go to the world beyond. IPOB has representatives there, which invariably means we are everywhere. And you come in every sector and any part of the world. There's no part of the world you cannot see IPOB. And that's why there is nothing that can fly above our radar. Everything that happens, we have a first class information about it. We are privy to it. And that's why it's funny for anybody to think he can undo IPOB. It's practically impossible because IPOB remains the only movement as far as this generation and the world is concerned, the only movement that does not sleep. I will explain to you what I mean by that. It's the only movement that you see us all over the world. If Africa is sleeping, if Africa is observing her night, those IPOB members in South America who are still on their daytime are awake. If Europe is sleeping, Europe IPOB members' hours is at night hours. Those in America are awake. So this is the only human movement that does not sleep, that does not know what 100% night is. When one region is sleeping, IPOB, one region is sleeping, another region is awake. And that's why we keep the information flow circle 24 hours constant. That is IPOB. That is how great IPOB is. And that's why there is nothing under the sun that we cannot unearth. There is nothing anyone can hide from us, and there is nothing we cannot lay hold on. I am talking about present issues that are happening. I want to tell our people that what is playing out today is a declaration the Islamist fundamentalists did precisely in 1996. If you go to your Google, go to your smartphone, type Abuja Declaration 1996, you will see the roadmap drafted on the best way to conquer Nigeria. And when you talk about Islamized Nigeria, you're talking about the conquering of Biafra land, because virtually all parts of Nigeria has been conquered except Biafra land. Biafra land remains the most stubborn part that has not submitted to the conquistadors, religious conquistadors, Islamic conquistadors. And everything is happening. Please try to use your phone, type Abuja Declaration 1996. You will see that what these people are doing is what they have masterminded, what they planned about over 2 decades ago. It's not new. They mastermind, they drafted it, and today they are implementing it. And what are they trying to implement? To make sure that the Biafran people are Islamized, to make sure that the Biafran people are conquered, to make sure the Biafran people are changed, are dominated by all possible means at their disposal. And today there's something that is happening that it looks that most of us don't know. If you put down your ears, you will understand what is happening in Rivers State. You will understand what is happening in Akwa Ibom State. You will understand, even Jubri made a statement. He said, Delta State is the most important state to them. You might not understand what that statement implies. You might not understand when they say Delta State is very, very, in fact, the president said it. You can equally go to your Google and check the particular publication. Vanguard has it, all the mainstream newspapers have it. You can go to your Google right now, check the statement of the president in respect to the position of APC in Delta State. Why do they? I will explain to us why they want Delta State by all means, why they want Akwa Ibom by all means, why they want River State by all means. These are shocking revelations. These are mind-blowing information that most of us don't know. Let me come to Delta State. If you can remember that earlier before now, we all are together. We are one people. We are the Biafran people. And there's this agreement among the Hausa Fulani Cabals. There's this ongoing agreement. And what is that ongoing agreement? They have now resolved that from all indication, it looks Igbo man is so difficult to be conquered. Igbo man has been so problematic. Igbo Biafrans have been so problematic. Just put down your ears so that you understand the games these guys are playing. They have resolved that Igbo Biafrans are so difficult for them to conquer that it looks that if you conquer the Igbo Biafrans home, that is their own analysis, that if you conquer the Igbo Biafran home, it will be difficult to conquer those abroad because of the reasonable population staying outside Igbo Biafran land. They said if we succeed in Islamizing those at home through incentives, monetary inducement, installation of leaders among them. This is how they come up with. They say, if we succeed in conquering those at home, we might find it difficult to get the diaspora population of Igbos and equally Islamize them. It will be so difficult because you can't go to Europe and start looking for wherever they are, those in diaspora, to start conquering them, Islamizing them. So it will be so difficult to achieve that. You can't go to US and start looking for Igbos in US, Igbo Biafrans in US to conquer. You can't go to, this is the analysis they made, that you can't go to Asia and start looking on Igbo Biafrans in Asia to Islamize. So as a result of our complex nature, the high migration, high social migration, as a result of the way we move, the high mobility, social mobility the Igbo Biafran man had, they have now resolved that they might not keep on wasting their years, they might not keep on wasting their time thinking on how to conquer the Igbo Biafrans. So they now came up and said, the non-Igbo Biafrans in Biafran land have a less migration, have a less mobility, unlike their Igbo cousins, that the non-Igbo Biafrans, who are non-Igbo speaking Biafrans, who are resident in Biafran land, that they have a less mobility, they have a less migration record. So what they said is, it's easy for us to get them conquered. It's easy for us to get them Islamized because they believe that Islam could as well be kicked off in Delta State. From Delta State, it can now flow to Bayelsa rivers and all the rest of them. Then from Cross River, you can see the project they're having from Cross River. So their plan is that if by commission or omission, they get these people who are not on a high mobility like their Igbo brothers, if they get them conquered, that they cannot be used as a tool to achieve what they want to achieve. Remember the project, these people don't make an immediate budget or project. What is playing out today after 20 years is what they agreed in 1996. I told us, if you go to your smartphone, Google about Abuja Declaration 1996. You see how the roadmap was drawn, how to Islamize Nigeria, how to make sure they get their people more in the security agent, how to make sure they get them more in civil service, how to make sure they get them more in strategic position, so that they will now have a state projected plan So that if their people are more in security agencies, it's easy for those people to use state power to achieve those things. And that is what is happening in River State today. That is what is happening in Akwa Ibom. And that is what is happening in Delta State. So they came up and said, hence the non-Igbos are not on a high mobility. That means if they succeed in conquering the non-Igbo Biafrans, they won't have a much job to start looking for those of them who are not in the land, because they have taken a statistics and noted that it is only the Igbo Biafrans that have 40% of their population outside Igbo land. So if you conquer the 60% population at home, how do you conquer the 40% in diaspora? So it will still be very difficult for them. So because of this complex challenge, they now say, okay, let them focus their strength on the non-Igbo Biafrans who are not more on migration and mobility, social mobility, and that is where they now come. They say, if we can achieve that, that in future, these are many years to come project, that in future, these people will now be used to get their cousins or their neighbors, the Igbo Biafrans, into submission. I don't know if you understand that. Getting our people, our cousins, using them, getting them conquered by all possible means, and using them in the future to fight their cousins and get us subjugated. Now, in course of planning this thing, coincidentally or as Elohim of Israel might have it, there arose IPOB. In course of planning all this, IPOB came up, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came up, and the game became so difficult. Because look at where IPOB or Nnamdi Kanu took them unaware. Masop, please follow me carefully, because what we are discussing here is an eye-opener. It will help us to understand what is happening around us. Now, where Nnamdi Kanu did them harm, or where Nnamdi Kanu is doing them a serious harm, and that's why they choose to go violent. They choose to not to be patient with the entire development. Why they are planning this, Nnamdi Kanu came up, IPOB came up. And when IPOB came up, at the initial time, they never had any challenge with the emergence of IPOB, because they felt that IPOB would have been Igbolized. Permit me to use that word. They felt Nnamdi Kanu was going to concentrate within the southeastern states. And to them, they have succeeded in pushing Masop back to be within the Igbo state. So they have succeeded in bullying Masop for Masop to now be more of Igbo cultural group like Ohaneze, So when Nnamdi Kanu came, they thought that Nnamdi Kanu was going to lead us on that part of Igbo focus, to be pro-Igbo cause. But surprisingly, at the bewilderment of many, Nnamdi Kanu took the campaign, instead of concentrating on liberation of the Igbo man, Nnamdi Kanu moved beyond that and crossed the Rubicon, the red line they drew, and started talking about Biafra in generality and no longer Igbo cost. Now, when Nnamdi Kanu started the issue of Biafra and started even being so hard on his Igbo brothers for their stupidity, not for their stupidity, because I was part of the stupid elements there, for our stupidity, I inclusive, when he started hitting us hard over our stupidity, over our docility, over our inability to think as human, and started embracing the non-Igbo people, and started healing the wound of the abandoned property, how our cousins were used against our fathers and all this or that. When he started opening the eyes of our cousins, the river line, the Akwa Ibom mines and all the rest of them, and started building the bridge, to them, they were not happy with that. The Fulanis were not happy with that because what they thought is this: if they can use these people, the non-Igbo speaking Biafra, get them conquer, get them Islamized, they can be used for future attack against the Igbo. But when Nnamdi, surprisingly to them, Nnamdi Kalu came up, and when Nnamdi Kalu came up, Nnamdi Kalu started talking about Biafra beyond Igbo. And surprisingly, not even only Southeast, Nnamdi Kalu was so, in Igbo language, and as now in Kamanya, even going down to Benue, going to Kogi State, started telling them some part of Benue and some part of Kogi is Biafra. So to them, they now saw a man who is now unifying, who is going to destroy their future plan. And that is where the problem came. That is where the problem came. Remember, earlier before now, our brothers in Riverlands have been a kind of skeptical about any unification movement between them and the Igbo Biafrans. But it took Nnamdi Kanu within 3 years, he built that bridge. He brought everybody back. Today we have the Biafra Council of Elders, which comprises all the elders from Biafran land, not just Igbos. We have Biafran Student Voice, which comprises all the students in Biafran land, no longer Igbo. We have SCOB, Supreme Clergy Council of Biafra, which is the clergy body that hosts all the Biafran pastors, clergymen in Biafran land. So Nnamdi Kanu was so smart, permit me to use this word, and so dangerous to have come up with a title that destabilized and put to a stop. It was a kind of repel. It repelled the advancement. He started within the IPOB, apart from IPOB as the mother body or the bigger umbrella, he started creating a sub groups. Like we have Biafran Council of Elders, we have, which is made up of Ijaw Biafrans, Akwa Ibom Biafrans, Igede, Ibanke. Apart from that, he started, commissioning groups like SCOB, as I mentioned, the Supreme Clergy Council of Biafra, and Biafran Students, even Biafran Land Women movement. So he was able to start bringing these brothers and sisters together in a forceful way, and these people are not happy with that. What did they think? What did they think? They were not happy. They never folded their hands. They now came up with where we are today. And where are we today? Because only when you understand where you are today, you can now be so conscious of your tomorrow. These are things that are happening that our people are careless of. Now, because of IPOB has destabilized this conspiracy, because IPOB is the only standing movement that is fighting shoulder to shoulder with this evil advancement. What did they do? They now came up with the idea, because you can remember that even our elders are so confused that they don't know what to do. Let me now tell you one shocking thing. Our elders were used so in a stupid manner that they were tool of disunity. The Cabals pumped money to them, set them up to use them to disunite the Biafran people. I will give you a clear instance. Are you aware that Ohaneze does not fight the interest of the South man? Ohaneze talks about Igbo. The so-called Pandef talks about Niger Delta, or so to say, we can as well say, is more of a jaw than Niger Delta. So they succeeded in funding or sponsoring groups that will divide us more in units, that will divide us more than groups that will unite us more. Ohaneze divided the Biafran unity and say we are only after after the Igbo. So, and what do you expect the Igbo Biafran man to feel? He feels okay, we are not one. What do you expect a John man to feel? He feels okay, Ohaneze, okay, we are not one. What do you expect the non-Igbo Biafrans to think? Because Ohaneze was sponsored and set up by the Fulani Cabals. They understand how the negative impact these ethnic affiliated groups we have in our unity as a Biafran people, as a one family. So what they did was they start funding these people heavily, and they saw Ohaneze. When immediately Ohaneze was constituted, Ohaneze started talking of more Igbo, more Igbo. The non-Igbo Biafrans began to feel that their interests were not carried along. And that was equally applicable to Pandef. Pandef is a group that said they are fighting for Niger Delta. And why Pandef is only talking about Niger Delta issue, the non-Niger, so-called South Biafran, we equally feel that their interests were not protected. So when Nnamdi Kanu came, Nnamdi Kanu, irrespective of these stupid structures, sponsored structures, Nnamdi Kanu demolished those stupid sociocultural groups and came up with an idea. First of all, he came up with a wonderful name which became a problem to them. Nnamdi Kanu came with the indigenous people of Biafra, that name. That name, whether you're an IPOB member or not, it means that IPOB is fighting for your interests, whether you insult IPOB or not. IPOB doesn't care, in as much as they name indigenous people of Biafra, even the stupid indigenous person of Biafra, IPOB is covering your interest. Saboteur indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB is still securing your interest. Useless it might be, or how insulting it might be to what IPOB is doing, don't worry. IPOB is there to protect your interest. So Nnamdi Kanu came with a name that unified us. It's not indigenous people of Ijaw, so that you not say it's or indigenous people of Igbo, so that you will not say that it's an Igbo, and that will divide us more. So the name he came got them pissed off. They were not happy with the name. Indigenous people of Biafra has been a disturbing factor to them. They have been doing everything possible to make sure IPOB changes a name or drops that name. One of the ways they have been doing, if you read some of their publications, instead of them to write indigenous people of Biafra, they will write independent people of Biafra. A way of forcing IPOB to drop the name indigenous and accept independent. Sometimes they consciously write independent people of Biafra because they understand how effective, how unifying that name, indigenous people of Biafra, instead of indigenous people of Igbo or Ijaw or Ibanke. And they started fighting. Another way they tried to destroy that name was when they lobbied for coalition. They said everybody should come to coalition, pro-Biafran coalition. Thank God Nnamdi Kanu rejected that. And the coalition, one of the demands of the coalition protagonists, or those proponents of the coalition, one of the things, strong proposal they made to IPOB is that after the coalition, they will change name. IPOB will drop IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, and start, answering one thing. So they have been fighting a way to destroy. So where are we now? Because it's important we understand. I try to go down the lane so that you will understand where we were and where we are heading to. Now, today, it has been a trouble. It has been a problem to them. To them, they believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has transferred the stubbornness of Igbo man in the lives of our cousins, the non-Igbo speaking Biafra. And they believe now they have to do everything humanly possible. Thank you, Mazi Chijoke Ezechi. Everything humanly possible to make sure they take the land by force. Because remember, I told you that the earlier plan was to use a soft approach to take the South and use them in future. By the time the Islam has gotten a footprint, use them to launch a jihad against the Igbo Biafran. But now they notice that IPOB has done a lot of harm. So if they are waiting for a soft approach, time will go against them. So what they now did is to turn to now apply force, use force. Because remember, the Quran told them that when you present the message to an infidel, so to say, and the message was not accepted, that you should not use conquering, you should use force to impose Islam on the people. So they don't want to start the application of the force in Igbo Biafran, because their fear is that the Igbo Biafrans will be so rebellious and their brothers will join them, and that will be so bleeding to the jihadists. So what they are now planning, they are now saying, hence they have used soft approach, and it looks Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB emergence will destroy that soft approach, because every day you listen to Nnamdi Kanu, he will tell you the movement of these people, how crafty movement of these people, and they now say, no, it's hard time we use force. And one of the way we use force is to activate those guys we have planted in the military. Those guys were planted in military. Remember, I told you, I said, go to Google and check Abuja Declaration of 1996. They are now using option B, plan B, to achieve what they want to achieve. And I told you the target has always been South-South. So what they are now saying, let us use our human strength in the military, in the security agencies to achieve this. Subdue South-South, get them, impose a leadership on them, then bully them, because Islam triumphs with fear. There is nowhere Islam is recorded success without fear. They do what we call conspiracy theory. They generate fear. They make the people to fear. When the people are afraid, then they subjugate them. That is how Islam moves. That's why terrorists have to bomb a community. When a community is bombed, there is a generation of fear. When the people are afraid, two things are involved. Either the people submit with the Islamic government there, or the people go to exile, abandon their land. These are two ways. So they triumph with installation of artificial chaos, installation of artificial fear. That is what is playing out. If fear is created, and that's why terrorists will come to market, bomb the market, next week the people will not come to the market again. That it has been the way jihadists move. So what they are doing in South-South presently is now use of option B, because they have tried to use of the option A, which is a soft approach, and coincidentally to them, contrary to their own calculation, they never believe there will be an emergence of a stubborn man like Nnamdi Kanu and a stubborn movement like IPOB. So coincidentally, beyond their calculation, there arose this movement, and this movement is busy opening the eyes of many. So if they wait, the longer they wait, the damaging IPOB will cause for them. So to them, it's risky for them to keep on using the soft approach, because from all indication, IPOB is busy every day opening people's eye, and they are not comfortable with that. And they have tried to see if IPOB could be stopped, but the man Nnamdi Kanu seemed too difficult to be stopped. Neither is the movement ready to accept bribe or get themselves bullied. So what they are not saying is that let us activate plan B, which is violent. And geographically, they have made their mapping. They have done their mapping system, trying to know where is the best place to start the launching. They now came up with this idea. Please follow keenly. Cross River and Delta State. Cross River and Delta State. Why is Cross River and Delta State so important to them? They now said they have people in Edo. Edo State is already conquered. And it's easy for them to have a cell, what we call cells, CELL, a kind of a takeoff point. It's easy for them to have a takeoff point in Edo, groom jihadists in Edo, that we launch attack in Delta State. Remember, Edo, in terms of proximity, Edo is close to Delta State, and Edo is already conquered. The population of Edo, you have a reasonable number of Muslims in Edo, and Edo, being an APC state, is really sympathetic with the herdsmen and other foolish movements. So Edo is already conquered. So Edo to them is just like what Gaza Strip and West Bank is to Iran. Because this is geopolitics. You must understand how calculative these kinds are. It's all about geopolitics. Why Iran is fighting, I'm not digressing, why Iran is fighting hard to make sure Syria is within their reach, so that they will have a close launch pad, a close land to attack Israel. And why these kinds, the president told you that all they are going to do, that all they want to do, they want Delta. That is what Jubri said some days ago. Why they want Delta is because they understand that already they have a safe center in Edo State. And it's easy for them to use Edo to capture Delta. That if Delta is captured, it's easy for that to move towards Bayelsa, then Rivers, and that it flows down to Akwa Ibom. Now, if you follow carefully, you find out that this present government is building a very long dual carriage from Cross River connecting northern states. They believe that they can as well advance through the northern states and enter Cross River, and the rest of other states will just be a story. Now, today, everything is happening before us. Those who insulted IPOB are now seeing that IPOB is 100% correct and calculative in all this shenanigan movement of these conquistadors, these murderers, these jihadists and bloodthirsty elements. What they are not doing is to create artificial crisis in South State. What I mean by artificial crisis, they will see state-sponsored militia groups killing people, destroying lives, as we are seeing in Rivers State, as we are seeing in Akwa Ibom State, as we are seeing in Bayelsa. They are now creating artificial crisis. That artificial crisis will culminate into state of emergency. That is what they are targeting. Because they believe that the present governments in these areas are not buying the idea of Islamization. They believe that Yesowike is so stubborn not to accept the job. They believe that Odom of Akwa Ibom and all the rest of them are not easily buying into the mess. So what they are now doing is to use the security apparatus which they have dominant, which they have strong footprint on, using them to create artificial crises. How? You hear that people are being killed in rivers. You hear what is happening in Akwa Ibom today. This afternoon, we are hearing that the INEC office in Uyo has been burnt down by some arsonists. So you see what is happening. They are now exporting down artificial crisis in our neighbors, in these targeted areas in Biafran land. So that through the artificial crisis, they will now tell you that they want to save lives. Remember, jihad always move on false flag. Take it or you leave it. Jihad always triumph or move under false flag. They will tell you that there is high rate of human death in rivers, that people are dying a lot in Akwa Ibom, which they created. Conspiracy theory, artificial crisis, artificial upheavals, artificial, chaos. They will now deploy those of their jihadists. They called military officers. They will camp in those areas. They will build barracks there. They will marry the indigenous population. They led the gears of these conquered centers, because when they land all those people, they don't move them again. They will marry those people, integrate with those people, and before you know, Ephraim, or before you know, Ekaite is now married by one Musa, and they give birth, and the boy will answer Odom Sani. Hope you understand me. Odom Sani. Odom is the name given to the baby by Ekaite, and the Sani is the one given to him by the army, the officer that got Ekaite impregnated. So you see how the whole thing is happening, and that is what they are advancing. Now, you could see that those of our brothers, or the so-called ex-militants, those who are fighting for the resources of their fatherland, although unfortunately they were cajoled into what they called amnesty, which turned out to be pipeline surveillance contract, are today the target of the day. They invaded the house of Ateketom and committed pillage. They pillaged the place, they ransacked everywhere, and he's nowhere to be found. Remember, Tompolo house was invaded, his father wounded by the military, and on the process of battling with the wounds, the man died, the father of Tompolo died, and today Tompolo is nowhere to be found. Asali Dukuba, as I'm talking to you, our brother, Asali Dukuba is nowhere to be found. What are they doing? Going after those people who have what it takes to mobilize their youth to fight against them. They have a strategy. Read about jihad. You'll find out that jihadists hardly start by killing the commoners on the street. Study about jihadists. They target the authority. They target those at the helm of affairs, because they believe if they conquer the authority, that the subjects will submit. What you see the army doing, going to those that have what it takes to mobilize the youth, that is what they are doing. Going to Ateketom, because they know that Ateketom has a lot of influence in Ijola. They know that Asare Dokubo equally has influence, irrespective of what has happened. Equally has influence. He has boys under him. They know that Tompolo equally do. So what they are doing, that when we hit those you think that could mobilize these boys, if we hit them and they go to exile, then we can now lay hold to the boys on the street. Do you know what it means for you to hear that Ateketom has run away? Do you know the psychological depression it will impute in the life of every youth of Okreka? Every youth of Okrika who hears that their king, the custodian of the custom house, was invaded and he ran away or he escaped, psychologically, that youth will say, if somebody we are trusting on has run away, where else is our defense? So this is their strategy. They hit the main target so that the subjects will easily submit. Even when they came to our leader, Mazen Namdekan, you see, all the target they did was to kill him. Because they believe if we kill him, Igbo land is just a forgotten place. We kill Namdekan, then every IPOB member would be in disarray. And that has been the strategies of the jihadists. So we are seeing what is happening. They are seriously trying to create artificial crisis. Some of people, they are trying to create artificial crisis, exporting crisis. Now ask yourself, why is it that Zamfara is boiling, Medugri is boiling, Adamawa is boiling, Kaduna is boiling, Taraba is boiling, Plateau is boiling? Why are they moving the military out of these places to come to a land of peace? South that is known for peace, because they want to create artificial tension, create artificial crisis that will now force this place to be highly militarized. Their target is to militarize our land. Their target is to have a reason to kill us, so that they will tell the world that we are occupying their land more because there is crisis. And I want to tell anybody, whether you're interested to listen or not, don't give your trust to Pandev. Don't give your trust to Haneze. These are cowards. These are very corrupt elements. Everyone should support what IPOB is doing. If we fail to give IPOB the desired support at this crucial moment of us, we are bound to regret it. At this crucial time as a people, this is the hard time. Everybody must appreciate what IPOB is doing for us. We must appreciate, we must stand shoulder to shoulder. We must stand with IPOB. Because whether you like it or not, our unity is the best tool we need to repel these people. So very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. Irrespective of your political affiliation, irrespective of how you think, this is the best time we all must, because everyone has failed us. Everyone has failed us. This is the hard time. We must appreciate what the leadership of IPOB is doing for us. We must appreciate what Mazen Namdekan is doing for us. We must appreciate. Let me tell us something. These guys feel that the future is not safe for them. I mean the jihadists. They think the future, they believe that with the speed of diplomatic engagement the leadership of IPOB is doing, Mazen Namdekan is doing, they believe the future does not speak well for them. So they think the best thing they can do is to make sure they get this by force, by fire, by force. So what am I trying to say? They have this fear within them that if they delay, that IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu is going to set fire in the minds of Biafran people. and they will be nowhere to be found. So we must do everything humanly possible to give credence to the leadership of IPOB, to support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and I believe at the end victory will be on our own. So for those of us in Akwa Ibom, be watchful. For those of us, our brothers in Ijoland, in Obakre, and other highly militarized south-south areas, or so-called, so-called south-south, let us understand that we must remain strong. I speak to those in Obakre, Calabari, remain strong. Those in Opobo remain strong. Even our brothers in Akwa Ibom, we feel what we feel. We saw the importation of jihadists from Edo, recruited boys from Edo, pushed down to Akwa Ibom to kill our people. Remain strong. We must remain strong. We must remain strong. Very, very important to remain strong. Our unity is very, very important. I plead with everyone, irrespective of what anyone might have said against Nnamdi Kanu, against IPOB, we must sympathize with our brothers now. We must ask question, where is Asari Dikubo presently? Is he safe? Is our brother Asari safe? We must equally ask, where is our brother Ateke Tom? Is he safe in his location? We must equally ask question, where is Tompolo? Just the way we have been asking. Are they safe? These are our brothers. We cannot throw away our own. We cannot throw away our own. Because the plan of these people is to get them destroyed. Having taken their resources, they want to take away their lives. It's obvious for everybody who was deceived in the time past to understand the resources in your land is taken by Fulani, and today Fulani is equally coming to your life. They told you that Igbos are your problem, and no Igbo man has your oiwa, no Igbo man is controlling your resources, and no Igbo man is invading Calabari or Krika today. I think that's why I said you cannot keep on lying all the time. One day the truth will appear. You can see what they are doing today, using even our brothers. Using our brother. Hababio is a very strong tool used to kill a lot of people in Akwa Ibom. Amechi, very good tool to kill. Ask yourself a question. Why is it Atiku and Buhari are the two brothers battling for this, battling for the presidency? Why couldn't they kill more people in northeast and northwest? Why should Amechi be used to kill our people in River State? Why should Akpabio be used? Did you see any Uko or Efium contesting presidency against Buhari? That's why we must remain strong as a people. Those they have contracted to use against our progress must be confronted with truth. We must confront them with truth. We must tell them the way it is. Wasting the lives of our people in River State is unacceptable. It is hard time IPOB should remain strong and make sure we fight for this, our brothers. Very, very important. We must ask the question, where are our brothers? Where are they? If I take it home, a royal majesty, I take it is a royal majesty, invaded his house for reason that he might have not been supporting you, invaded his house, raided everywhere and destroyed. Can you just imagine that Emir's house in Northeast raided by an Igbo-led military team or police, or an Ijaw-led military team? Can you just imagine that? That our people are even helping Nigeria government to fight against Boko Haram insurgents. You see the level of sabotage. You see the level of killing of those officers who are helping to fight against the extremists. You see their fellow northern officers even killing them, shooting them behind. For those of you who felt to be reasonable at this moment, my prayer for you is that may you never be reasonable in grave. May you never recognize your stupidity in grave. That is my prayer for you. That is my prayer for you. Because our enemies are resolved to get us conquered. Our enemies are resolved to disseminate us as a people. Our enemies are not sleeping. Very, very important we understand that. So South is now saying to them that the best thing they can do is to get South conquered by all possible means. And that is what is playing out. But I know Chukwu Okike Abiyama will never allow that to happen. Our side will win. It's just a question of time. We'll win. So if you're not a member of IPOB, Mazi Ndewo. Ndewo Mazi.
I'm eating. Come and eat.
Thank you, sir. Ndewo. Yes. We are talking about what is happening around, and you can see every attempt to conquer us as a people. And in as much as they didn't conquer our fathers, we can never allow that to happen. Very, very important.
No, it can never happen. It can never happen. It can never happen. No. This time, they must know that IPOB is not joking. We are not joking. They must see the handwriting everywhere. They can see the evidence. Look at this analysis you give to them, to our people now. That they want to go and, conquer those weak ones, because I call them weak ones. They are weak. I see Ikwere land, Ikwere elders today doing some sacrifice on the road there. I see how they dress. I see how all of them dressed, and then they stand by saying that they doesn't belong to Biafra. That they doesn't belong to Biafra. Okay, look at Atekete today. Look at Atekete now. He doesn't belong to Biafra, but now he is nowhere to be found. Look at what our people are.
You know, most of us we are sometimes when I blame them to a limit, because you and I were like them. You know, there was a time when somebody tells you about Biafra and some things happening, we never took it serious. I was as stupid as some of them. I must say this. I was as stupid as some of them until Nnamdi Kanu came up, until IPOB came up. I never have this boldness I have. I never have this pattern of thinking I am enjoying today, if not when Nnamdi Kanu appears. So some of them are still swimming in foolishness, including even some of the Igbo Biafrans. But I believe
yes,
with what is happening now, even though you can't be bold to say, yes, eyes are opening. Even though you can't be bold to say to Nnamdi Kanu, thank you. Down in there, if you can't come to open and say to Nnamdi Kanu, thank you, and I'm sorry for what I said, down in their bedroom, they are appreciating that young man.
Okay.
down in their bedroom, even though they can't be bold and come to newspaper page and say, we are sorry.
But they have to come up. They have to come up because now we want to connect advanced connection. Yes, very, very important. Advanced connection. I have been saying it before. Umunna, kindred. Ohamadike is international working. Our people, council of elders, and the woman leader, men leader, they have to go to Umunna, knock at the doors of Umunna. Umunna, if any Umunna gather their people and they do the needful thing, you know, come on, they will now move to the other Umunna that is not good. The problem we got is Umunna. Umunna. Very, very important. Okay, think of your Umunna. The name of my Umunna is Umunadwomeke. It's not good now. It was devastated. Look, likewise now, your own. You understand me? Likewise, your own now. If we eventually connect this now, finish. They are nowhere to be found. They are nobody. British is they didn't conquer our ancestors. Is it we now that is everywhere they will conquer? They are nobody. And those people down there, they are small.
So that is
only that our people left them to do this nonsense. You understand me? Our people just left them to do this nonsense. Look at Amechi. Look at Amechi. Look at Amechi. I remember some time ago, Amechi says that politicians are carrying money, doing anyhow the way they do because nobody's pursuing them, throwing stone and sand on them. And Amechi now is doing the same thing. You see, Amechi now is doing the same thing. But I promise them that Igurube, IPOB will deal with them. Thank you very much, my brother.
Yes, thank you. You know, it's only IPOB that is standing out now. Everyone now is just bought over. I told us earlier that virtually all the groups that can fight for the people, none of them, absolutely none of them. Are you talking about Pandef, led by Edwin Clark and Victor Atta? Those guys, I don't know. They are just there to talk about attention from presidency. Are you talking about Ohaneze Ndibo, which is the most confused group we have seen now? Because when you look at what is Buhari and another one supporting Atiku, as in one supporting Jubri, one supporting Atiku, you keep on asking Ohaneze how many are they? So they are just confused. IPOB is the only focus group. And Ohaneze is just talking about fighting for the Ndibo. And you wonder, Igbos he claims he's fighting, how far has he fought for them? How far has he fought for them? The Pandev claims he's fighting for so-called South. How far have they fought? It's only IPOB that is building a bridge of unity among the brothers, formerly deceived brothers. And we must appreciate it. We must appreciate it. On the side of IPOB, we must encourage IPOB to remain resolute as a people. Everybody mustn't be everybody mustn't be active like some of us, but at least identify with the struggle. Identify, because the need is this. You could see what is happening in Sasa, which is a kind of, they want to guarantee the rest of Biafran nation, especially the Igbo Biafran, and make sure that the Abuja Declaration, which this present government, most guys in this present government were part of those that drafted that resolution, Abuja Declaration 1990, what is it called, 1990, and make sure we must stand up. So finally, before the end of today's program, I want to appeal to us on personal ground that irrespective of what has happened in time past, yes, history cannot be totally discarded, but sometimes we let go some bad side of it to move forward. Irrespective of what happened, it is our responsibility to ask, where is Ateketon? Where is Asari Dokubo? Because Asari, since the invention of Akiteke Tom's house, Asari is nowhere to be found. We must ask, where is Asari Dokubo? Tompolo has been chased away, and the father, after struggling of the wound of the military invasion, died. Where is our brother Tompolo? It is our responsibility to ask those questions. Very, very important. So, to appreciate those of us who have joined us for this program. Mazaki Aganeko was eating, and despite that, he joined us. Mazaganeko Stephen, thank you. Everyone that followed us on this revealing month, we must remain resolute. This is a very trying time of our history, trying time of us as a people, and we must remain resolute. We must remain thankful for what our leader is doing for us. We must remain thankful for what the leadership of IPOB is doing for us. And I believe at the end, remember, winning is on our side, because we have what it takes, mentally and otherwise, to repel this evil plan to get us Islamized. We have what it takes. So thank you so much, and may Chukwu Okike Abiama bless us as a people. May Chukwu Okike Abiama preserve us as a people, and may Chukwu Okike Abiama protect the coast of Bonny down to the coast of Kalabari, Ishekri, Nembe, Abua, and down to the hilltop of Obolafo and other lands of Biafra. And may Elohim, who could not allow Usman Dan Fodio to enter this land in 19th century, may that the same Chukwu Okike Abiama give them rebellion. May he put a deletion among them. Because the Bible says something, said, he disappoints the devices of the crafty, so their hands could not perform their enterprise. May every enterprise against us as a people, against us as a Biafran nation, against us, against our leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, against Uche Mefo, against everyone working sincerely and with utmost commitment for the restoration of Biafra. May Chukwu Okike Abiama preserve us and put a great terror in midst of our enemies. May those who collaborate with them, those who prefer to join them to destroy us, may the land of Biafra reject those people. May the land of Biafra open and swallow them. May this land make them uncomfortable. Those who are joining the enemy to ruin our lives, the lives of politicians who are conspiring to cause havoc in riverine areas of Biafra, riverine land of Biafra, and even upland. May those who are conspiring with the enemy, may them never know peace till this world comes to an end. And so shall it be. In the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama, we pray. Thank you so much. And from here, I said goodbye.